Morning, all. All right, so we've got 11 games in the NHL tonight. You saw me, well, at least setting up most of this board last night during the Q&A video. All right, so we've got 5 games starting at 7 o'clock Eastern. So a lot of early starts, but they're nicely spread out tonight too. It's not too bad. So 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific's the start time between Minnesota and Boston. The Minnesota Wild 19-10-2 on the season over their last 10, 5-4-1. They have lost 2 in a row. And this is the thing. Teams coming out of the break, some of them play great. Some of them coming out of the break, not as great. And so we'll see how it goes. On the Boston side, they're 17-10-2. In their last 10, they're 6-2-2. They've won 3 in a row. So that's what I'm talking about. Boston looked poor going into their break, and then they look good coming out. And yeah, so this is going to be an interesting game tonight. Also at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, the San Jose Sharks in against the Buffalo Sabres on November 2nd in San Jose. The Sharks won 5-3. We'll see how it goes tonight in Buffalo. Over their last 10, San Jose's 4-6. They've lost 2 in a row in regulation. They're 17, 16, and 11 now. For Buffalo, 10, 17, and 6. They're 2, 5, and 3 in their last 10. And they had an overtime loss in the last game that they played. So we'll see how it goes tonight for Buffalo. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, the Calgary Flames in against Tampa. And Calgary's saying all the right things. Coming out of that loss against Florida, Calgary's saying all of the right things. We'll see how it goes tonight. So 17-8-6 is the record for Calgary. Over their last 10, they're 5-4-1. They lost their last game. The Tampa Bay Lightning, 22-8-5. Over their last 10, they're 6-3-1. And they won their last game. And it feels like Tampa's starting to get their groove back a little bit. So we'll see how it goes tonight between them and the Flames. Should be an interesting one. And for Calgary, who have an excellent road record, they need to get back to that kind of game that they are pretty good at playing on the road and learn from their mistakes against Florida, right? Also at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Columbus Blue Jackets in against the New Jersey Devils, October 31st, in the first meeting between these teams. Columbus won at 4-3, but in a shootout. The Columbus Blue Jackets now 15-15-1. Over their last 10, they're 3-6-1. They've lost their last 2 in regulation. New Jersey's 13-16-5. Over their last 10, they're 3-7. And they did lose their last game. So we'll see how things go tonight between 2 struggling teams in New Jersey. I kind of like New Jersey in that one because they're at home. Columbus's road record has been pretty miserable. The problem is Columbus has also started losing at home. So we'll see how it goes. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Pittsburgh Penguins in against the Philadelphia Flyers. Their second game was postponed. Their first game was not. November 4th, it was a 3-2 overtime win for Pittsburgh. These games are normally pretty competitive. So for Pittsburgh who are now 19-8-5. Over their last 10, they're 9-1. They've won 9 in a row. Philadelphia is one of those teams that is going to be looking to stop that winning streak. And eventually, Pittsburgh's going to lose at least a game here. I don't think that's, overly shocking information. And for Philadelphia, you desperately need a win. If it's going to start, it's got to start now. They're 13-14-6. Over their last 10, they're 5-3-2. They've lost their last 2 in regulation. So for Philadelphia, they've really got to get it going. 8:30 p.m., 5:30 Pacific is the start time between Florida and Dallas. Florida's 22-7-4 on the season. Over their last 10, they're 6-3-1. They've won 4 in a row. The Dallas Stars, 15-12-2 overall. Over their last 10, they are 5-5. They won 2 in a row before the break. It's been an extended break for Dallas. I'm hoping they have a good game tonight, but I have no idea what to expect because they've been off for so long. So we'll see. But yeah, so Florida-Dallas, that could be a game that has a whole bunch of goals. I could see that happening. 9 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, the Winnipeg Jets in against Colorado. This should be interesting as well. Winnipeg really trying to assert themselves as the Oilers are dropping off. Winnipeg getting it together. They're 16-11-5 overall. Over their last 10, they're 6-3-1. They've won 3 in a row. So Winnipeg, who not that long ago was very much struggling, seemed to be getting it together. Colorado's a really good test for that. They're 19-8-2. Over their last 10, they're 8-1-1. They've won 2 in a row. And still, there are people who question, well, I don't know about Colorado. Yeah, they're 8-1-1 over their last 10, though, 19-8-2 overall. Very, very good record for Colorado. We'll see how they do against Winnipeg. This could be a high octane game. A lot of chances. And then also at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, the Arizona Coyotes the Arizona Coyotes at home against Chicago. I'll get it. November 12th, Chicago won 2-1 in this matchup. That game I remember because it was not the most exciting game. I'll just put it that way. Chicago's now 11, 17, and 5 over their last 10. They're 3, 4, and 3. Their last game was an overtime loss. The Arizona Coyotes 6, 22, and 3 overall over their last 10. They're 2, 7, and 1, and they lost their last game. So Arizona keeps things competitive. They are at least in games. They end up losing said games, but they're at least in them. And for Chicago, they've been close. So these are both teams that it's just not going their way. For Arizona, it's by design. For Chicago, not as much. Then we get to the late starts. 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. The Vegas Golden Knights at home against the New York Rangers. This could be the game of the night right here. Vegas, 22-13-1 over their last 10. They're 7-2-1. They lost their last game. The Rangers, 22-8-4 over their last 10. They're 5-4-1. They've won 3 in a row. So for the Rangers, they seem to have got it back together after a tough little stretch there. And for Vegas, coming off of a loss against Nashville, they should be a little bit ornery tonight. Might be a fun little game. Then also at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, the Detroit Red Wings, who are 16-15-3 in against the 18-11-7 Anaheim Ducks. So you have the Ducks, who are currently in a playoff spot, right? And they'll be cheering on the Rangers tonight. And you have the Detroit Red Wings, who are going to be cheering on Minnesota tonight and need to start, really stringing the wins together. Over their last 10, they're 4-6. They did win their last game. The Anaheim Ducks, over their last 10, they're 5-3-2. They also won their last game. That was against Philly. And so we'll see how it goes tonight. Anaheim, still staying in the race, still in the playoff spot. We'll see how long they're able to hold that up. And then at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, Nashville, 21-11-2 overall, in against the LA Kings, who are 16-12-5 and very unpredictable. I forgot to mention here, the Rangers and Vegas played in New York. Vegas won that one in a shootout 3-2. So they've already met and they've already shown that they're close. So in this one here, October 19th, the Nashville Predators won 2-1 over the LA Kings. And tonight we'll see whether or not the very unpredictable but kind of fun to watch Kings can come out and win a game against the Nashville Predators, who are 8-1-1 in their last 10. They've won 2 in a row. LA 6-3-1 in their last 10. They've won 2 in a row. They're 16-12-5 overall. Nashville's 21-11-2. So of the teams on the board, it's interesting to me how many teams have really good records right now over their last 10. 6-3-1, 6-3-1, 8-1-1, 6-3-1, 9-1, 7-2-1, 8-1-1, 6-3-1. So makes it a challenge for me when I'm doing the power rankings and day-to-day and all that stuff, but it's fun. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, just tapping upon this video. And yeah, this is, I think, the busiest day we've had since the restart. And I think on Saturday, I think there's still 13 games scheduled. There was 15, but it's now 13, I do believe. And so we'll see whether or not we continue to see the schedule getting more and more full. All right, let me know your thoughts, your winners, and all that in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Just happen upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.